Hey there, guys, it's Roy. As you may have noticed, it's been a while. As opposed to staying home quarantined, coronavirus has actually had me at work more than usual. So here I am, finally coming out with a video on something that I've been trying to structure my videos more around. So I still like making videos of just random battles and my thoughts going on because I think hopefully it's not too terribly boring and somewhat insightful on what's going through my mind. If you guys like those, I'll keep doing them. They're a lot faster to make, of course. I can just record a couple battles with some sort of team I'm trying to test out and put them on. I don't know if they're annoying. Clearly, you guys haven't left any mean comments. Thank you so much. But I'd love to hear what you want to see. If you want to see just deep dives into specific Pokemon, if you want to hear just more often videos on random gameplay, whatever you'd like. So for today, what I want to cover is a specific core. So cores in Pokemon are a group of Pokemon that work well together, either offensively or defensively. So, for example, one of the very strong defensive cores in this is like Skarm Bliss, or if you have more team slots allocated, Skarm Bliss Cofagrigus. There's basically no Pokemon that can break through that, which is incredible. I mean, Flare Blitz Darmanitan, kind of, right? Which is why, like, maybe you want to go Skarm Bliss with the addition of Jellicent in the third slot. But regardless, Skarm Bliss Bulky Ghost is a very strong defensive core, just because they all work to cover each other's weaknesses. This right here is very different. It's a completely offensive core, and I'll be explaining how it works. So it's the Double Bug Wobbuffet core, which you won't be familiar with if you've played Smogon, for the obvious reason that Wobbuffet is not allowed, which is why I felt this one cover needs its own explanation. While lots of people are familiar with Skarm Bliss, the ability of Wobbuffet and what it does to PokeMMO is disgusting and should be removed, but well, it's legal, I'll talk about it. So what makes this core so powerful is that there are very few checks to Volcarona, and I mean dangerously few, like 3. You've got Tentacruel, which Volcarona can't really beat 1v1, and you've got Chansey Blissey. Thankfully, Dugtrio can remove Tentacruel, but Dugtrio isn't necessary, as Tentacruel is by far the least powerful counter to Volcarona, as Volcarona can often just beat Tentacruel as it hazes your buffs away. So Tentacruel can stop you from setting up, but once it's dead or low health, you can still sweep. Dugtrio removes it, and also the same strategy with Wobbuffet will work against it. It's just not as important. Now, against the Chansey and Blissey line, there is no wearing them down, and what you have to do is use this move right here, Tickle. The fact that Wobbuffet very literally tickles Chansey and Blissey to death gets me every time, and I love it. So what this move does is it decreases their attack and defense by 1, which means you tickle them 2 times on a Blissey or 3 times on a Chansey, and it's completely fine to throw away your Wobbuffet to do this. If Wobbuffet dies, killing Chansey or Blissey, that's a win for you. Then what you do is you switch into your Scizor. Now, the 2 and the 3 times respectively are for a Choice Band Scizor. Obviously, if you're running leftovers to also run a setup Scizor, which isn't bad. Double setup bug Wobbuffet is a good team too. If you're running that, then you'd need an extra tickle. So what you need to do is you just need to tickle them below the point where they can spam soft boiled to out heal your pursuits. Because what you do is you switch into your Scizor and you click Pursuit. Well, now they're at -2 defense, so if they switch out, they die. And honestly, a lot of times Choice Band Scizor will just kill them if they stay in at +2 defense, because Choice Band Pursuit is so powerful on them because they have low defense. With that out of the way, they're dead. A lot of times you can just sack Scizor, bring in Volcarona. Dugtrio is an optional 4th to this core, as it gives you the Tentacruel trap, gives you rocks, allows you to defeat the Sand teams that would otherwise outspeed and threaten Volcarona. Also, Memento gives you super easy setup. Another option is you can replace Wobbuffet with Admiral Akbar here, right? Our Dugtrio. And what you would do is you would, I believe Reversal is the move I would take out here, and put in Screech. Screech allows him to basically fulfill the same function as Tickle, because it lowers their defense by 2. There's a chance for it to miss, which is low. It's only 15%, but, if you're me, that's most of the time. So there's a risk of that. There's a risk of him not being nearly as bulky as Wobbuffet, and him not having much utility afterwards. Wobbuffet can still trap and kill a special attacker after he does this job, because generally, if they see it coming, they'll Toxic on the switch. Like, as soon as you have a Volcarona in, their first move will be to switch in Blissey, because it's a no-loss play. So that's where you should double into Wobbuffet. If you don't feel comfortable doubling there, right, you don't want to risk it, it's fine. You can just wait for Blissey to switch in and take any move from Volcarona, and then switch in Wobbuffet. Most people won't switch out, because Blissey has to sit there and stop Wobbuffet or stop Volcarona from killing the team. Either one works. It just depends how aggressively you want to play it. Again, even if they toxic as you switch in, there's nothing they can do to stop Tickle from just killing them. So Dugtrio can replace this slot, although it's risky, or it can just serve in addition to it, which is what I think is best. As you've seen usual, lots of degenerate trappers. So what this does is it lets you beat basically anything with Volcarona. There are some Pokemon that can survive a hit from +1 Volcarona, being like a Garchomp, which barely does, but hey, Scizor can throw itself away to Bullet Punch the Garchomp, knocking it into range of Volcarona, and then Garchomp actually can't threaten to one-shot Volcarona. You can set up on its face, sweep their team. One thing to be aware of, setting up on Garchomp is risky, because maybe they're running Rock Slide, or maybe they're Choice Scarf. Either of those things would kill you, in that the Choice Scarf version would be able to, go first even after a buff. So you want to scout that. Like, I wouldn't just say, oh, just set up on Garchomp. It is an option sometimes. And if it subs on you, Bug Buzz goes through Substitute, which is very useful against like Breloom and anything else that subs. Way to go, Volcarona. Volcarona can run Substitute over like Hidden Power if you want to try to beat Blissey on your own, but I don't really recommend it. I don't think it's that good. But yeah, so that's the core of the team. Banded Scizor is good in its own right. Just banded U-turns, break down teams. Bullet Punch picks off lots of weakened Pokemon. Pursuit is very strong, just in lots of other situations. And Superpower to break through, just, anything you need Superpower for. Maybe they've got a Porygon 2 you want to deal with. Although generally you'd U-turn on Porygon 2 because it doesn't want to stay in and take Superpower. That's the main use of the core. Just these two remove the answers to +1 Volcarona sweeping their team, and Volcarona does the sweeping. The reason I have Hidden Power Rock here is because the Pokemon that Volcarona has a problem with, and the Pokemon that resist its stabs, are going to be your Flying Dragon types, and are just going to be pure Fire types. So, if you'll notice, both of those groups are weak to Stealth Rock and Rock-type moves. So with Stealth Rock up, that compensates for Hidden Power Rock's weak base power, and allows +1 Volcarona with its massive special attack to usually kill them. Now, the reason I have Timid here is you can go Modest. The reason I have it here is that at +1, if you're Modest, you're outsped by stuff like a lot of the Scarf Pokemon in the 90s. So Hydreigon is very popular. There's a couple others. I don't know if Scarf Darm outruns you. It's honestly never a calc I've needed. I'll try to look it up. But the power boost from Modest is substantial. The other option here, and the main thing that I think is worth switching, is Scizor could run Swords Dance over Superpower, and then you'd run Leftovers here, because Scizor wants the bulk, whereas Volcarona could also run Life Orb. Leftovers is when I use Volk on other teams. On a team like this, where you're not trying to use Volk defensively at all, the whole team is set there to deal with its answers. Maybe Life Orb's the way. The main thing that I like Leftovers for is you can take a weak hit, and then as opposed to every turn you getting closer and closer to moving into like Conqueror's Mach Punch range or Scizor's Bullet Punch range, every turn you get further and further away from those ranges. Leftovers is for sweeping their whole team. Life Orb is for breaking a hole in 3 of them. Generally, with a team like this, where you want to set up Volcarona to clean their whole team, I prefer Leftovers. Hopefully, that hasn't been too terribly annoying to listen to my rants on why these guys work. With this team, so with this core, the team I'm trying to test right now is obviously you need hazard removal, because Volcarona, very weak to Stealth Rock. I'm running Starmie. Don't tell anyone, but I'm not running a Water-type move. This is because a lot of Gengars just assume you're not running a Psychic-type move, and they will sit in, block your Rapid Spin, and try to Shadow Ball you. I'm not having any of that disrespect, so Psyshock. Make sure your Starmie has Natural Cure, so I can switch in and take, just all sorts of status moves and switch right back out. Leftovers, it's great. Thunderbolt with Starmie's bulk means that even at +1, unless there's a Crunch Gyarados, you can live its hit and kill it. And if they're a Crunch Gyarados, they're missing some other important coverage, so abuse that as you see fit. Ice Beam for Garchomps, Dragonites, yada yada. And then this team did seem kind of weak to Stall, just because this core right here is great for offensive teams that have like one Pokemon that beats Volcarona, which is most teams in this game, right? They'll have their Chansey, their Blissey, their Tentacruel, their one special wall, and they'll say, cool, this means I don't get swept by Volcarona. However, if the team has 2 or 3, you start to run into problems. So, Breloom lets you just set up and beat this Pokemon down. This is just the set I ran earlier. I think it's Jolly Max Speed. I don't know how much I love that, right? Because in a stall beating role, maybe you put more HP investment. For now, you needed this speed for some reason. um, Having a Jolly Breloom is good against stuff like non-Scarf Tyranitar. That's a really big one to get a jump on, and just other Pokemon. Like, it is good to have speed on him, but maybe if you're using him for this capacity solely, you could do something else. Cool. So that's the team we're going to be trying out now. We'll see if it works, and hopefully it shows off the strength of this bug core. If you noticed from the Rain Team video, these three are very prominent members on it, along with Dugtrio, and that's kind of where it came from. A lot of my Rain teams were just developing into games where the rain was there, but I was just using Wobbuffet and Scizor to set up and sweep with Volcarona, and Pelipper and Kingdra kind of just watched. So, like, it's nice to double up on the special attackers, but it's also kind of nice just to just run this, and then have a more varied team. These two Pokemon could also be walls if you want to run a longer game. Skarmory would be great here to set up some spikes to help with Volcarona's sweep, because spikes would compensate for the lack of damage from your leftovers of a Life Orb, but we'll see. Let's hop into some games. Oh, great, Streamlabs has been missing frames, so hopefully you guys haven't missed much too important. Should still get my voice. Let's go ahead and let's test it out. Boop-a-doo. Some other optimizations on the team. So Sash is really important on Dugtrio for reversal damage. Also, Sash lets you always use Tyranitar as setup food, because even with a Scarftar, Jolly Dug is faster than Scarftar, so you just Stealth Rock, the turn it knocks you down to 1 HP, which, like, anything from Tyranitar knocks you to 1 HP, then you just reversal to kill it. Whereas Earthquake is not a one-hit KO, unless they're, like, minus defense nature, but, you know. Earthquake is not a one-hit KO. So generally I prefer Rocks into reversal as opposed to Earthquake twice. That's there. The other thing about this team is that you don't have to run... This is one of the few teams that can get away with not running Weather or a dedicated Weather answer, because if they're running Rain, you let their Kingdra kill something. You probably let it kill, like, Starmie or Scizor. Then you bring in Wobbuffet, kill with Mirror Coat, and against Sand, Sand is absolutely bodied by Dugtrio. So now, let's hop into this game and see what we found. Goodbye this, goodbye this, goodbye this. Okay. Interesting team. Not terribly OU, but let's first take a look at our win condition of Volcarona and see what can Volcarona kill. Pikachu, for sure. Persian, for sure. Sock should have Sturdy, but after Sturdy is popped, it absolutely dies. Lapras, I want some chip damage on, but thankfully it takes a lot of damage from rocks. Mandibuzz also takes a lot of damage from rocks, and nothing on the team really wants to take Thunderbolts. Yeah, because after Elecros takes a little bit of damage, it should go down to Volcarona as well. So Volk doesn't have a clean sweep here, but the rest of the team will work out well. I'm going to lead... He could lead Pikachu? I'll probably just lead Breloom, because I'm not afraid of much with Breloom. Yeah. I'm going to be entirely honest. I don't know what Persian can do. I know it's fast, very fast. But I'm just going to try to Spore it. I don't think it can kill me in one hit. And if he switches, the reason I'm sporing here is to get behind a substitute and start throwing out focus punches. He has no ghosts, and not even a focus punch resist. I'm pretty sure focus punch kills everything on his team besides Mandibuzz. And if Mandibuzz takes a focus punch, then it's in Volk range. So that's very nice. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. So now I get my Poison Orb. Wow, that did so much damage. So if we look at that much damage, we're going to see that, hey, Slash actually will kill me. Which I'm assuming this thing has. Well, Mandibuzz is the #1 Pokemon I want to put to sleep, and I would think you would recognize that. So that was a weird thing to switch into Spore. Also, I don't know why Persian switched out, because with how much damage I took there, which is... Yeah, I don't know what it... I have no idea what its moves are. Maybe it's... Guys, maybe it's Banded Fake Out Persian. Because that was a lot of damage, and it's not Life Orb. Who knows? Here I'm just going to U-turn. Nice. this thing's Brave Bird will just kill Volcarona. So I want to be careful around that. I think I'm going to go Starmie and... ooh, this is... How fast is Mandibuzz? That's actually worth knowing. Okay, it's base 80, so it won't be full speed investment. It shouldn't be full speed investment. So I could actually go Breloom and put it to sleep. I'm going to do that, yeah. Cool, now I'm getting my heals. This is a reason to run Jolly max speed, is because there are some defensive Pokemon where you want that speed. With how little that U-turn did, this is probably defensive, which, I mean, it should be. A lot of teams will try to have one Pokemon built towards physical defense and one geared towards special defense. Oh my god, I'm retarded. Okay. That's what I get for not knowing what this thing does. I'm gonna say it was worth it for the Brave Bird recoil. But yeah, I just completely forgot that Overcoat negates that too. Guys, I haven't used Breloom in so long. Tickle doesn't do much here. Yeah. I'll just Ice Beam. Okay. This thing is definitely in range of +1 Volcarona now, which is quite good. Ooh, should I Thunderbolt predicting the Lapras? No, I'll Psyshock as a mid-ground. Yeah, lots of fake outs. So I want to keep Volcarona at full HP before I try to sweep. What would I set up on? Honestly, I don't know. Something. Okay, cool. Well, that's one of the fake outs down. I'm a little confused by this guy's team. So he probably goes Electros? I don't understand you, dude. Okay, so like fake out's coming, right? Is it banded fake out? Should I calc it? What? Does Persian not get crunch? Okay. I mean, again, we just U-turn. Because, like, this isn't Gen 1. Persian doesn't have guaranteed crit. So I don't know what it's going to do to me. Oh, no. There goes Sturdy. Maybe this is where we bring in Volcarona. Because, yeah, that's Volk range. I'm going to get up rocks first. Just because I don't want Mandibuzz coming in for free. I'll get rocks, then probably try to kill him with reversal. And if he starts bulking up, I'll Earthquake into reversal. He's not leftovers, though, so bulk up would be weird. Cool. As long as he doesn't freeze me, we're fine. And if he does freeze me, we're also still fine. So even neutrally, Earthquake is 150 or 100 damage, plus 50 for stab. So 0 HP reversal, or 1 HP reversal is 200 base power. So even against neutral targets, it does more than Earthquake. I don't know if that mattered. I swear Persian gets U-turn, right? Doesn't it? I mean, this is, like, I'm not going to stay in and get faked out. Persian might actually be faster than me. No, it's 115. Oh, it gets Technician. That's kind of cool. Oh well, once again, we just U-turn. Well, it's not banded. What on earth? Okay, so he can go Lapras, Electros, or Mandibuzz. I'm going to go Starmie because it beats any of, like, so Starmie incentivizes him to bring in Electros because Mandibuzz dies and Lapras basically dies to it. Cool. I can get Lapras low enough that Volcarona is in range of sweeping his team here. And yeah, I'm not Life Orb, so he shouldn't die. Cool. And I'm totally fine trading Starmie at this point. Should I be? I don't know. But, ooh, you hate to see it. And here, I don't need to predict because I just want to make sure this thing dies. Okay, cool. That's the end. Yep. That one didn't really show off the strengths of the team. That was just kind of the strength of OU Pokemon versus Pokemon that are not that. So we'll probably skip ahead to the next one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Oh, look at this team. Cloyster's a fun one. I should do a video on Cloyster. Need to build one of those. Okay, so let's look at this dude's team. After +1, Volcarona should be able to beat down Togekiss, Cloyster, +1 in rocks, sorry. Togekiss, Cloyster, Salamence, and Hydreigon. Garchomp, I need to nick once with something, and Milotic will be an issue. So Milotic is worth me throwing away both of my trapping Pokemon to remove. So I think that's worth it. We need to look at the lead situation here. Togekiss could be a good lead for him, as Hydreigon also is. Both of them threaten to have Scarf. What would I do against either of those leads if they're Scarf? Is I would lead my Scizor. Okay, fine. I must have looked at the time wrong. But yes, I would have led Scizor, because this will let me know if this thing has that disgusting flamethrower. I'm going to bullet punch it, though, just because I want the damage. Okay, cool. That's super fine. Milotic potentially sets up, or Milotic potentially just dies to this thing. That's probably Scarf if you lead it and it has Flamethrower, is just a general rule of thumb. You don't usually see Flamethrower on non-Scarf builds because they want something like, well, for one, Leftovers is usually the only other item that run, but they want stuff like T-Wave, they want Substitute, Roost, all that stuff. I'm guessing his set is Trick, Flamethrower, Air/Aura Sphere, something like that. Or maybe Roost over Aura Sphere. It's not many people run it, even though it is very good. Here, though, I can bring in a lot of Pokemon and get some stuff done. I'm going to go to this right here, Dugtrio, just because I don't care if he Flamethrowers me again. I want my rocks up, so Cloyster is not an issue, because Cloyster there's a good chance he's Focus Sash, especially on a team like this. He doesn't really have hazard removal unless it's Defog Togekiss, but I don't think it is. And anyways, I'm getting up my rocks. There's nothing he can do to stop that, because he'd have to be Scarf Air Slash to potentially flinch me down. But if he is Scarf, he's locked in the Flamethrower, and could be Defog Salamence. Again, I want to try to worry about that. Okay, so he was expecting like Rock Slide, which is fair. That is something worth playing around. But now I have my rocks up, and it's burned, which is incredible for me. That means that it is even worse against special attackers. Starmie kind of threatens his... Wait, so Starmie kills Cloyster in one shot with T-Bolt. Ice Beam when it kills Salamence. Ice Beam when it kills Garchomp. Kills Togekiss at this range, and Hydreigon maybe lives Ice Beam. Okay, so alternatively, we just break through Milotic. Wait, do we just beat it down with... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock Milotic into some move. I don't know what it is, but lock it into something. With this, perfect. It might try to Toxic here. Although if it Toxics, I just lock into Toxic and switch to Breloom. Cool. Encore. Perfect. What this is doing is I just need Milotic to not be here. And now that it is locked into this, I can get Breloom behind a sub. I'll probably sacrifice Breloom, but the more health I... Actually, wait. I kind of wish I hadn't thrown away Scizor. Oh, wait, no. I can totally... because he's locked in here for a couple turns. I will tickle him. And then tickle him again. And then go to Dugtrio and Earthquake twice. . Am I setting up myself? So you have to worry about, am I giving Cloister a chance to set up and kill me? I don't think Cloister can come in on Dugtrio after rocks. At least I sure hope not. I just need Starmie to be in. Well, no, I Memento. That's what I do. If Cloister comes in on Dugtrio, I just Memento. That's the smart play. So now he has 3 turns where he's going to, or at least 3, where he's going to have to use Toxic. So I got 1 tickle off. He's Fizz Def, so I probably need a couple. This is actually totally fine for me. Wait, I'm just going to tickle him down. Yeah. There's no reason for me to switch. I'm just going to keep doing this until he dies. He'll probably start spamming Recover, but Wobbuffet at this point isn't needed. He doesn't wall Cloister very well, and like with rocks up, Starmie sweeps his team. So we're just going to tickle this until Wobbuffet dies, at which point Dugtrio comes in and Earthquakes. Also, if I let this guy die, Dugtrio doesn't get Toxicked, which means potentially if he goes to something, I can keep my Sash intact. But that's not too important. Like, I was thinking about switching to Breloom here, which is a good play in the short term, right? I absorb the Toxic, but my win condition doesn't require that. My main win condition is just getting in Starmie while Milotic is low. And we're going to do that. I could also just do it with Volcarona right here. But that's not too necessary. Because if I bring in Volcarona on a Milotic... Oh, actually, let's just do that. Yeah, let's... It's Encore ended. We'll Encore it now into Recover. Perfect. So now I could switch into Volcarona. I could Quiver Dance once. And maybe he switches to Garchomp that turn. That could be fair, actually. If he switches to Chomp, I could try to Quiver twice, but I don't really like that. I'm just going to tickle him again. As Wobbuffet dies, letting Volcarona, or letting Dugtrio come in and clean him up. So that's the strength of Dugtrio and Wobbuffet. Their real strength and why they're so good is they let teams pick specific win conditions, and like you get to mold your opponent's team because you can basically always trade a Trapper for a Pokemon. So here I'm able to trade Wobbuffet for Milotic, but that's fantastic for me because I can just set up a team where I win if his team doesn't have Milotic, and suddenly he's stuck. Because a lot of teams are only built with 1 or 2 big defensive pivots, and that's not a problem. It shouldn't be a problem because Trappers shouldn't exist. But they do, so you should play around them. This one isn't looking good for him, even though I'm technically down 2 Pokemon to 0. I should probably check the Hydreigon calc right now. I can go ahead and do that. The video will probably skip here because my internet's bad. Starmie. Starmie versus Hydreigon. Oh, it's probably Scarf Hydreigon. What am I thinking? Starmie can't stay in on that. Okay, cool. So he can recover exactly as much as Earthquake, which means at any point in time, if he doesn't click Recover and scalds me, he goes down to like 1 HP and is no longer a threat. I completely forgot that I don't know why. I forgot about Scarfers being a thing. So Starmie doesn't really sweep, but that's fine. This also sets up for Volcarona. And he just gives it to me at full HP. Now, he could go Cloister. Oh, but this is perfect, right? Because he's probably also Scarf. Would he be Substitute Hydreigon? No, right? No, right? Is he U-turn? I'll go into this and see. I am curious. Because, like, double Scarf seems weird. But, like, I think it's just Scarf. Yeah. Good. Again, things look dire, but really they're well under control. I'm gonna Quiver Dance. Yeah, it is Scarf. Okay. Like, I figured it was Scarf, but, like, I'm also reading the Togekiss as Scarf, so maybe it's double Scarf. And with leftovers here, I'm just gonna bank on him not critting me. Because now I can Quiver twice because I am timid. So I have +2 special defense, so this this hit should do half as much as the last one. And really, we're just praying no crits, and then I win the game. Because by the time I KO this, I'm out of Ice Shard range. Unless it's like Banded Cloyster. But Cloyster has no attack. It needs Quiver Dance to do damage, so we should be fine. Cool. He needed to immediately switch to Garchomp there, and even then, Garchomp needed to be a variant that could hurt me. Which, potentially it's not. That's what he's saying here. Or he just didn't realize the threat that Quiver Dance did. So, the other option is a lot of Volcarona run Giga Drain in that last slot. So maybe he's thinking Salamence walls me. At +2, Bug Buzz still probably kills 75 health Salamence. But I'm thinking this could be like a bulky Defog Roost Salamence, which it probably is. And I'm sorry about this. Okay, so the option of him having a Banded Ice Shard, well, Banded doesn't exist, but the option of him having Ice Shard and killing me is now entirely gone unless it crits. And yep, Hidden Power Rock is for those flying types that have a secondary typing that resists Bug Buzz. Or that resists fire, sorry, as flying types resist Bug Buzz. Yep, and that's the team. You basically trade early, things look bad, but the whole point is to put yourself in a position where Volcarona can sweep, and you can throw away any amount of resources to set that up. That's what I did, and here we are. It might not be Scarf. It doesn't matter at this point. I'm just like trying to think to myself, because something to do is always to try to like look at your opponent's team and think, like, why do they have this Pokemon here? And that can tell you, what like if your opponent's team hard loses to something, then maybe they have a Pokemon in place because they've thought about that. Togekiss lead is generally either a Paraflinch set, where it's like T-Bolt or like Substitute to get the jump on something, bluffing a choice set. But generally, if you're bluffing a choice set with like Substitute, you wouldn't run. If you're doing that, you wouldn't run Flamethrower. But maybe it's like Roost, Air / Flamethrower. I don't know. But something to always respect is if they lead Togekiss, always assume it could be Scarf and don't leave like Minshao into U-turn against it. Generally with Minshao, you'd always fake out in that situation. Okay, cool. It's over. Just to test. And if they don't have leftovers, they're probably Scarf. It's a good way to think about Togekiss. Okay. That's probably it for this team. It's shown the basic idea. Any team with Trappers and Volcarona is busted because Volcarona is so incredibly powerful. It requires your team to have a dedicated answer, and Trappers just mean your team has to have 2 or 3 dedicated answers. And if your team has that many dedicated answers for Volcarona, something like, I don't know, Scizor can sweep. This could actually be my SD Garchomp set. That'd be really good here. Yeah. That's probably what I'll do instead. just to cleave through teams that are so bulky and special defense. So yeah, alternative team is you run this set, the Slackberry, Jolly, Earthquake, Dragonclaw, Sword Stance. Substitute. Yep, that'll be it. Cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope it was informative. I'm looking to put up more content. I saw that we hit over 100 subs. That's incredible. I can't believe it. I'm surprised you guys like these videos, but I will keep making them. There'll be delays. But for real, like if you have a specific request at all, like some guy requested to make an Infernape video a month ago, and like I went and bred up an Infernape and built a team for it. Like I enjoy doing things that I know people will like. I worry a lot that people won't like these videos. So if there's something you want to see, just message me on the Discord, on YouTube, or leave a comment or whatever, and like I'll do my best to do it. Okay, and that being said, also shouting out the Discord again. There's discussions in there. If you have questions about Pokemon or about teams, that there's lots of people besides just myself who are there to give advice. And yeah, it's a good idea. Okay, with that, I'm signing out.